That day, you're going to hear the voice of Jesus. He's going to say, "Come up, Alicum." Alicum is the name he is going to give me when I go to heaven. I'll be going to heaven that day.
You're a like
I'm
him?
glad you are full of confidence, and I like
Well,
that.
I'm not a like him yet. I'm not that good of a guy. But I'm
But
going to
you're
be
full of
murdered by.
confidence and hope, and I like that about you.
Well,
Yeah,
I kind of like him.
it means God raises him.
Right.
I told the vision. After that nuclear bomb goes off in Chicago, America will set out and blame Russia. And the military will send nuclear missiles to Moscow and destroy Moscow. This will be within hours of that nuclear bomb in Chicago.
Okay,
Russia
so we've done away with Chicago-style pizza, and now we've done away with caviar and vodka. All right,
I'm cheering up. The lack of Giordano's pizza is going to be a very serious detraction in my life. I'm going to miss Giordano's big time. Moscow
Well, I knew a
didn't have
nuclear
any.
technician once, and he told me how to survive a nuclear explosion, winter, whatever, fallout. So
Anyway, within hours of that nuke in Chicago, Washington, D.C., New York City, Huntington, West Virginia, where I am right now, and Moscow will all be destroyed by nuclear bombs. That's the first day of hell. That's the first day.
So they're going to get Marjorie tea and Low Bobo.
You guys can sit back and say, "Hey, nah, it's not going to happen." It's going to happen. And it's going to happen just like I said. Jesus showed you this.
Well, then we've
got
no.
I can't make
we
you
have
say
no
that you
chance.
saw these things in visions. But I can say, Jesus, would you in this moment show them in your visions that nuclear bomb detonating and what happens that first day of hell, the last day of time? Would you show them this thing now, please?
I'm curious, what is Detroit-style pizza? I'm familiar with Chicago and New York, but I don't.
Like a casserole. It's like a pizza casserole.
No, I'm not familiar.
It's square. That's what it is. It's school lunch pizza.
Pizza has no pineapple is good. I think it's something in the cut, the difference between Chicago and New York.
Yeah, it's square, probably. Square cut.
Okay. Yeah. Well, there was a pizza restaurant in Chicago. I can't remember because I was a drunk sailor back in those days. Their stick was graffiti over every surface, every table, every chair, every wall. It was clean graffiti. It wasn't like racist or profane language, but people would make inscriptions all over that restaurant. It was kind of cool. But I don't know from Detroit pizza.
Lordy, that looks like a pit I could jump into and go swimming.
Who just came up? Denizen. Welcome, Denizen.
That's the Detroiter.
Oh, Detroit. Explain Detroit style pizza. I'm
Greetings.
not familiar.
Hi there.
Wait a minute. That voice is familiar. Is that the Bag Patrol? Say something difficult.
We won't ban you when we recognize your voice. Don't worry.
Yeah. The way you said greetings reminded me of Dick Bag Patrol.
That reminded me of somebody else, but it's perfectly fine.
All right. Okay.
Hi, Denizen.
I would like to know what the difference between Detroit and Chicago pizza are. What's that?
Yeah, it helps if you unmute the tab that you have StreamYard in. Just pro tip when you're on a panel.
Yeah, if you're running the YouTube and the StreamYard at the same time, you want to mute the YouTube version so you don't get that feedback echo.
I had StreamYard muted and I couldn't hear anybody.
Oh, I got you. I got you. Okay, you had it backwards.
So, what makes Detroit style pizza first is the pan. It's a steel pan.
Not a
And the
cast
idea
iron.
behind cast iron could work. It's traditionally steel, but the idea behind it is that you put the cheese first instead of on the top, and you put it all the way to the edge instead of up into the crust. And then the cooked at high heat, the cheese melts and the oil from the cheese drips down the sides of the crust around the pan, and it fries the crust.
Well, that sounds good.
Wow.
I like that.
I have to try that. I'll be making a mess in the kitchen tomorrow.
Outside of Detroit, is there a restaurant or a chain that serves Detroit style? I've never heard of it before now.
Yeah, what region are you in?
I'm in Mid-Atlantic. I'm in just across the river from D.C. Muxter's in Pennsylvania, and Jody, actually, Wesley is in West Virginia, and Jody is in Alaska. Did I get everyone right?
Yeah, I'm in West Virginia now. I did live on Maryland Avenue in D.C. when I was about 25 years old, and then I lived over in Alexandria as well.
Oh, that's where I'm at now. It's Alexandria. Yeah.
Yeah, I spent many a day at the fish market in 219, the Jazz Club.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I've had my fill of schooners and beer, or schooners and clam chowder. That's for sure.
Yeah. The 219 Club by my buddy Osceola's met him a few times. Pat, he almost became wait staff at the 219, and he was just amazed at the cost of some of the booze they sell.
Yeah. I used to play piano there on Monday nights. There was a band there called the New Line Trio, a jazz trio, and they'd let me sit in on Monday nights.
I didn't even know the place existed until I became a recovering alcoholic, so I've never been in there. But yeah, I heard some stories.
I'm guessing the Torpedo Factory is still over there. That's sort of the art mall.
Oh yeah, that's one of my favorite go-tos in Alexandria.
Yeah, mine too.
So, dude, I would like to take this opportunity to apologize for any unthinking and rude comments that Finkel might have made about Detroit.
It was said in ignorance. I've never heard of it. I've only heard of Chicago and New York styles filled pizza up until now. Oh, and what's that cardboard with ketchup on it? Little Caesars. I've heard of that too.
I don't know. When I was in Chicago, I would spend a lot of time at Wrigley Field. I lived close to it. And every time I'd meet a group of people from Detroit to watch a baseball game, they were always much more friendly than the Chicagoans. They would actually almost invariably invite me to come to Detroit and stay with them for a weekend for a barbecue.
They were probably just in a good mood not being in Detroit.
I've seen pictures. Yeah.
Yeah, don't drink the water.
Oh, yes. Well, that's Flint, actually, isn't it? We can't drink the water.
Flint. My bad. I'm sorry.
That explains some things. That's where my father was born. Or raised.
Flint? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I've said enough. I had that vision. One will do is the meaning of the foot cut off. And, I don't get involved enough. That's what those palm trees mean. So, I saw that vision. The sand under the grass means, what shall it profit a man should he gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Or what can a man give in exchange for his soul? So I saw that vision and I tell it. And I ask, will you guys please say, okay. I saw green grass in the vision from Jesus. It means everybody saw the vision. Okay. Well, I wanted to ask, and it's your choice. It's what Jesus wants you to do.
Hey, why don't you tell us some stories about Second City?
Well, let's see. One night after a show, I was in the tavern across the street having beers, and went to the bathroom, and I'm sitting there at the urinal and right next to Horatio Sanz, and I looked at Horatio as we were unison peeing. I said, "You're going to Saturday Night Live," and he goes, "Nah, I'm not. No one's ever told me that. Not even the directors, here at Second City. They tell me I'm not going." 1 week later, he got picked up by Second City, by Saturday Night Live, and he was, a few months later, he was in the Cowbell sketch with Christopher Walken.
More
So,
cowbell.
More Cowbell. I got a need for more.
What was that?
Cowbell.
Oh,
He came back later, and he came back to Chicago. I would spend Christmas Eve over beers. He would buy me drinks, with him and another guy that was a writer then for Conan O'Brien. Both of them had been in Second City, and we'd spend Christmas Eve together. So he's come into some trouble recently. Apparently, something going on with underage girls. So I don't know what's going on with him these days.
No, I hadn't heard about that.
so at least one of your prophecies have come true.
It was just a wild guess. I was just wishing him well. I was just hoping the best for him is all. Now, I'm not a prophet. I've heard the prophets. I know what their words mean, but I am not a prophet. The prophets of Jesus do not use TV. They saw the same things that you saw, and Jesus told them, bad boom, boom, mark of the 10, the black, death, war, Yavol, hell. Yavol are those men and women that are going to enforce the mark of the beast, the Omni. That's what Yavol means. War, that's what you're doing now by not telling the vision. That's the meaning of it.
Oh, okay. Well, if I perceive,
they're really great. They're wonderful kids. There are 140,000 of them. They're all over the world. They never watch TV. They have they give love for evil. There's no guile in their mouth. They do not speak very much. They don't even speak to their own parents. They will only speak when Jesus Christ tells them what to say. So they do not speak a lot. They do not say Jesus' name in vain. They're not the Jesus, 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 and it's all lip service. They do not speak his name in vain. They rarely talk, and they are above me. They are above us. They're gonna sing that vision in the Valley of Armageddon on the last day of hell, and Satan's gonna throw nuclear bombs on them like flies, and they're not going to be harmed, and their joy shall not be stolen.
So there's more than one of these Volvos, or?
No, there's only one Volvo. There's only one wheel in the middle of the wheel, the color of a barrel. The fire unfolding in itself is its detonation.
I just made a notice. Our record for most panelists at a time that weren't a duplicate was 6. If we get one more on the panel, we'll break our personal record. If anybody's out there, at least join for a minute so I can say we had 7. And I don't understand the communication I'm receiving.
Well, I failed Jesus by watching too much TV. Me watching TV right now is the spinning of those circles. Those metal, gold, and silver rusted. It means I failed Jesus doing magic, wizardry, sorcery, and witchcraft. Wizardry means if I were trying to sell this to you, if I were going, send me some money and I'll pray to Jesus for you, and my prayer will be answered and you'll get blessed by Jesus. But you got to send me some money first. That's wizardry. Selling Jesus
the vehicle of communication that you're actually utilizing right now be of one of those things?
Watching too much TV is the magic. Yeah, that's the 144,000 never watch TV ever, never.
Well,
144,000.
Sorcery would be me smoking a cigarette.
So they're Amish.
No, some of them are born into Russian Orthodox parents. Some of them are born to Muslim mom and dad in Iraq and Iran and Saudi Arabia. Some of them are born to Buddhist parents in China. But they were chosen by Jesus from birth, before they were born, and they're scattered all. They are all from the Hebrew line. The Hebrews did quite a bit of mixing.
What are they chosen for?
They are the 12 tribes of Israel, the remnant, the cry of the noise of the fish gate, the 144,000. They are the government of Israel, and they are all young children. They are all virgins, and there is no guile in their mouths. They're the most wonderful, intelligent little kids you ever met. They're
Sounds
really
a little
intelligent.
creepy.
And they're going to run the world?
I'm going to go. Jesus is going to send me in a miracle to gather every one of them, and I'm to take them to Megiddo, the Valley of Armageddon.
Do they
And
serve?
armies will try to stop us, and they're not going to be able to.
Do they serve pizza there?
I will more than likely ask Jesus to send us pizza one of those days.
Yeah, we got to get some. What is that? DoorDash going on.
I'm pretty sure the only meat he will send will be fish. If I ask for pepperoni, it'll probably be a soy pepperoni.
I was about to say, pork is halal.
You're all making me hungry.
Yeah, I'm
I
hungry
never
for
met a
Seared
slice of
Donner's
bacon
pizza
I didn't
myself.
like.
Anyway, I've talked enough. I've spoken enough. I've been a little bit too wordy for that. So I'm going to say goodbye and thank you very much for not cutting me off.
Hey,
Doesn't happen
You
very
take
often.
care.
we hope to establish a place where people can say their piece without getting into a fight. And
Hey, well, why don't you just say, yeah, I saw a foot cut off. It didn't bleed in that dream from Jesus. It means one will do. That's the thing. It's easy. It's really easy.
okay. We lost the panelists. Who did we lose?
The main one.
What are all those binders?
Binders?
And the
Music.
back there.
Okay. Well, that dream is the dream that Jonah didn't want to tell in Nineveh, and he got swallowed up by a whale. And the whale spit him up, and then he told it. He didn't want to tell it either. And, so that's what he told in Nineveh.
All right. Well,
Bye-bye.
thank you, Wesley. Take care.
Yeah.
Wow.
Very, very interesting. The way he just talks about this stuff, and it keeps going and going and going. So he's been thinking about this for a
lot.
Yeah, can't just come up with stuff easily.
And no offense to TPP, but something tells me if he got on that panel, he would have been shouted down. Now, we teased him a little bit and we mocked him a lot, but we didn't shout him down.
Speak. Yeah, we let him speak.
Yeah. I really appreciated you guys not making fun of this guy because, maybe, he truly believes it, and maybe he's
I did make fun of it a little bit, but he was coming off on me like, well, there's something wrong with me because I'm going to tell you, and I was like, whoa, hold up your horse there, buddy.
Yeah, but you have to think sometimes that a lot of these people, well, not these people, I don't want to say it that way, but
folks,
there's schizophrenia a lot going on, because I did know a guy when I was younger, and he was talking about these mazes, and he was locked up in an institution, and his goal was to find the exit, and he lived like 2 doors away from me, and at some point he committed suicide. Yeah, so you have to take it easy with these people, and give them a platform to vent sometimes, and that's fine.
Or feel like we spread the message of, I didn't understand it, but whatever he was trying to spread.
Yeah.
Well, I thought you did with the comparison to the 12 steps, because it sounded a lot like it.
Yeah, that was very good. Yeah. Oh. Well, when he started talking about the kids and everything, like you said, Jody, it got a little creepy.
Yeah, I thought it was creepy. You know, I mean, when people start talking about children that way and being a mom, you know, I was like, wait a minute, whoa.
Yeah, virgin and yeah.
Hold up the bus there, buddy.
Yeah.
Thought he was talking about Jewish kids riding around in a Volvo when the aliens come.
That was oddly specific. It's a green Volvo wagon. There's not a lot of those around.
Devices.
There's not a lot of those around, so you can
drive
probably
it
pick them up. Yeah.
Parking garage and detonate it in Chicago.
Yeah, I feel like religion only works when you keep it vague. When you start being specific, it falls apart. That was great, though. That was a great conversation. I really like that guy with his stories and everything. And a lot of this stuff is picked from the Bible, of course. I mean, it's verbatim, you know.
Sure. Yeah. I lost my Christian sensitivity years ago, but I do believe there is some kind of higher power that we just cannot understand. And he, she, it, or they presents him, her, or I'm sorry?
It's your true conscience, your pure conscience, your child conscience. You know,
whatever it is that our 1 pound brains can't really conceive, because whatever it is created the whole universe. Call it nature, call it whatever. We each are receiving in our own way, and he's received it in a way that's very
odd.
It seems outlandish to us, but it works for him. And if it works for him, great. So.
Yeah, as long as he's not hurting anybody, that's what I don't care about, you know. If you're hurting somebody, like if he's really like a weirdo with children or something like that. I mean, I felt a little creepy about some things, but
But there's a lot of creepy stuff in the Bible if you actually read
it. Yeah, I know, but I have ran far away from that many years ago. So
because people like to pick and choose the Bible. If you actually read the stuff, there's a lot of stuff in there that is creepy or it doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Well,
and you know.
Like you said, they got to keep it vague and confusing.
Of course. That's how you get people to do your bidding, right?
Yeah.
You scare them. But yeah, that in today's age, though, this type of talk doesn't really work. But if you go back like 500 years, 600 years, this was like the norm. It was normal to talk about this stuff.
Go back to 1988, I was convinced of very similar talk. I was very convinced, and then I was very disappointed when I didn't speak in tongues. Like, wait a minute.
That's not far. That's not long ago, actually. That's 50 years.
Oh yeah, it's been 50. No, it can't be 50 years. 80,
when you said smoking is what, sorcery or something like that, I was like, man, I wish I could do that. Just because I'm smoking, I could do magic spells and stuff. You know.
Oh. I missed that, but was it while I was smoking on screen?
Yeah, smoking is sorcery, actually.
Well, I wanted to know if the television was the root of the evil that he spoke of. Well, why is the conveyance of the computer for his message any better?
Yeah, no, that's where it starts falling apart, right? You know. So yeah, it was interesting. It was entertaining.
Yeah.
That's where it starts falling apart.
Well, it gave me a new idea of how people interpret. I mean, the 144,000 is in the Bible, but I always took that as an example of a number they didn't know how to come up with. But others have taken it literally as only 144,000 will be saved and taken up.
Yeah, you have to take into account that at the time the Bible or when it was written, we can't really be sure. There was a lot less people on Earth that they knew about. So 144,000 could have sounded like a lot of people back then.
Yeah.
And nowadays, it's nothing.
Right. I think we're at 7 billion on the planet right now.
Yeah, like I said, heaven sounds like a very lonely place.
Oh, yeah.
With all the rules they have in place to get in, I don't think there's a lot of people in there.
Yeah, I told them straight up.
Sounds like heaven.
Yeah. I mean, when you actually stop, and we talked about this, me and a friend, about heaven, you know, what it would be like. And it's for eternity, right? You're there for eternity. There's no pain and all that. Wouldn't you get bored at some point, though? I mean, unless there's another another way of, we can't understand it, like Osarge said, but living eternally with people. Let's say you don't like that guy in heaven. What are you going to do? You're stuck with him.
Well, isn't
forever.
death, consider this, isn't death eternal? Isn't that your eternal life? I mean, whichever way it ends up.
Yeah, but you don't have to make conversation.
Yeah, I mean, but you have no pain.
You have no pain, but you don't have to make conversation or pretend that you like the guy that is in heaven right there. Maybe you don't like him.
Right.
Or maybe you like everybody in heaven. I don't know. I don't know. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
Oh shit! This is happening in 3.5 years.
Probably, yeah. It's always close. It's always in a generation. Right?
Oh yeah.
Because if it wasn't in your generation, you wouldn't give a shit. Because if you say, "Well, I'm going to be dead by then," I don't care about that stuff. So it's always in your generation, and then when it doesn't happen, it's in the next generation, and it's been going on for quite a while. The end of the world prophecies.
Well, Satan's already revealed himself. His name is Donald Trump. Jesus.
No. Trump isn't the beast. He's the whore of Babylon.
The idiot, the village idiot.
It would be too obvious. Satan is smart.
Yeah. If you go by the Christian scriptures, it won't be obvious. In fact, wait a minute, a lot of people do follow Trump. I don't know.
It doesn't matter. You wouldn't even know.
And it makes no sense whatsoever. It's like he's the Pied Piper of dumbasses, you know.
Well, everybody's entitled to their opinion. I'm in Canada, so I don't really give a shit. But even in Canada, we had people freaking out about Trump, and I was like, dude, we're in Canada. What the fuck do you care? We're stuck with Trudeau. Deal with that first, and let's worry about something else after that. I mean, so yeah. I mean, I respect everybody's opinion. I'm all about having an honest discussion about anything. Yeah. And I'll bring my facts. And if you prove me wrong, my facts are wrong, I will accept it. But most people nowadays, they just stick to an agenda and they don't want to hear the other side. And I think that's the problem today. People are against each other when they should be discussing it and actually solving problems. And that's what you guys are doing on this panel. And that's why when I came in last night, it was a little late. I'm sorry I couldn't join in. But I listened to you guys and I was like, this is pretty good. I mean, you guys are talking, you're letting other people talk about stuff, and that's rare.
By the way, because of you coming late last night, you owe us $10.
Give me your Venmo or PayPal and I'll send it right away.
In the chat, there's a little circle with the $sign. Click on that and you can super sticky or buy memberships, or there's several ways. Oh, wait a minute. Moxter, I told you to put that. Okay, we're still not monetized. Right.
No, you're
I'm sorry, I got caught up. It sounded like, I just heard the very end of your thing. It sounded like you might have said something important. I was wondering exactly what you said there.
Oh, you missed it. Okay. I was saying yesterday night it was pretty late for me because I'm in Canada on the Eastern Board. So right now it's 2:25 a.m. here. And yesterday it was 3, so I couldn't join in. And I was listening to you guys. And I was like, this is good. You guys actually welcome everybody. You have a discussion about it. This last guy that came out, Wesley, actually would have been very easy for you guys to put him down, make fun of him, and but you didn't do that. A little bit, but that's okay. We're allowed to do that. But you let him talk. We listen. And he talked for about, at least 45 minutes, right? And that's great. That's great. That's great. That's rare.
And it did have an impact. He talked about 144,000 people who never watch TV. He actually delayed me from watching West Wing for 45 minutes. I was about to stream West Wing, and I got all wrapped up in that. So it worked for a little while.
Yeah. Well, it was fun. It was fun for me to listen to that guy. I have to admit, I always like listening to these people, and I get where they're coming from, and most of the stuff, like I said.
You do?
Well, yeah. I mean, a lot of people, they don't have a lot going on, and they attach themselves to something, and they just preach it.
Right.
Sure, I understand that. That's most humans, but I mean more specifically, where the Volvo and the Jews.
Oh yeah, well that's where he
nukes
went
are
off the
coming
rails a little bit. Yeah, but that was
Oh
funny.
yeah, I definitely didn't agree with him, but I want to appreciate we had 6 people at one point, so 5 other than him, and we didn't shout him down. We zinged him a little bit, and yeah, we kind of
Okay.
laughed and snickered. But can you imagine him coming up on TPP with Nidal on there?
No.
Can you imagine a screaming match to would have?
Yeah, but that's not productive though. That's not productive.
Yeah, I appreciate that we didn't go there. I that's what I hope to be here for, is that people can just come up and have a, zinging lighthearted. Yeah, I think that's fine.
That is fun.
By the way, as I was reloading and stuff, guess where I visited and where I am now at least chat banned.
Oh, when you said reloading, are you talking about your computer? Or are you talking about that rifle on your wall?
Oh, yeah. Well, that will just leave up to your imagination.
Okay.
But I committed a terrible sin today. I visited Marcy's channel.
That's frowned upon?
Apparently.
Oh, wow. Huh. Not very open-minded of them, is it?
No.
Yeah.
So that's all right.
I have to give them credit. They're where I got the idea to do this, but I also have to give them discredit for the yelling matches and the paranoid banning.
Which is what's going on over there right now.
Yeah.
They got a couple of their crazies up there. But anyway, I just thought I'd mention that what I think of it, and let's talk about more interesting stuff.
Detroit-style pizza. I want one.
Hell yeah.
I want to try it.
The sauce
after
goes
you
on the top,
described that.
too.
I have to look it up on YouTube to see how it's made, because that way I could give it a go.
Give it a go. Okay.
Give it a go.
Yeah, you put the sauce on the top, and you do it in just 3 even strips. That way each bite has a little bit of sauce in it, but the whole pizza's not covered in sauce.
Right. I'm not a big sauce girl. In fact, I love pizza that doesn't have any sauce. I mean, olive oil
Same.
and garlic and.
Are you comparing it to Chicago style pizza?
I mean, it depends what you mean by compare.
Well, is it better? Is Detroit better?
Oh,
than
yeah.
Chicago? Yeah.
Yeah, he
I
said
had
he thinks
Chicago.
it's better than
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. No, he said he thinks it's better than Chicago or New York.
Ooh.
And that's when Muxter banned him, right?
Mm-hmm.
No. I'm usually on a computer, but since I'm working tonight, I'm supposed to be working tonight. You guys are on a little tiny cell phone. I can't really see who's talking. The one guy
Right
sounded
now,
a
it's
lot
you.
like. I'm sorry.
Right now, it's you. Just so you know.
Right now, I'm the one talking. Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Muxter, for clearing that up. One of your voices sounds a lot like the YouTube character Dickbag Patrol. And if you're not, I'm not calling you a dickbag. It's just that's the handle he goes by, but you sound a lot like him.
Who?
I think it was Denizen that he said he
Denizen?
recognized
Denizen.
earlier. Yeah.
Could it be? Okay.
The dude.
The dude. Yep.
The dude. Wait a minute. We're all dudes except for Jody.
No.
No.
Denizen
No.
is the dude.
Is the dude. Yeah.
Oh, that's his name. Okay.
He's the dude.
You probably can't see his avatar.
Oh,
The Big
okay.
Lebowski.
No, I can't. So you're not Dickbag Patrol. You're just someone who sounds like him.
Or the Duder, or
Okay.
El Duderino if you're not into the whole brevity thing, man.
Dude.
Love that movie.
Final test. Say, good luck, motherfucker.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Good luck, motherfucker.
Okay. It's not Dickbag. Okay.
You passed.
Well, I mean, it would be fine if it was Dickbag because I find him very informative and entertaining.
I think he sounds like Jeff Bridges.
Jeff Bridges.
Really? I wish I did.
No,
I was just trying to give Finkel a clue of what we're talking about, but that might not have helped. Jeff Bridges was the dude.
The dude.
Oh, is he? Okay. I get my Jeffs confused. Is he the one that said, "Why is America great"?
No, that's
No, that's
Jeff Daniels.
Jeff
Yep.
Daniels. Yeah, I get Daniels and Bridges confused by name. I know they don't look anything like each other.
I used to get Bridges and Tunnels confused, and it caused for some very interesting cross country trips.
If you confuse Bridges and Tunnels, you would like to drive around Norfolk, Virginia, the Bay Bridge Tunnel, or I can't remember there's a few bridge/tunnels that cross the Chesapeake Bay in various ways. That would confuse you. Nope. Okay. I guess you had to be there. Oh, I don't have my readers on. Wesley's still talking to us. I can't make out his Satan's face. Like I can't read it.
Yeah, he's
I'm not
kind of
reading
doing. He's on a wall of text right now. I don't feel inclined to.
Oh,
Satan.
Did he step down on his own? By the way.
yeah. Nobody
Okay.
kicked him or anything. He,
Okay.
Remember that thing from SNL, Satan?
Who was
It was
yeah.
the church lady. The church lady.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, you're right. Could
Was
it
that
be Satan? That was
Carvey
Dana
or something?
Carvey. Yep.
Yeah, Dana Carvey. Satan? Could it be Satan? Mm.
You know,
Denizen,
ever watch-
There's a lot of street people in my days, and he reminds me of a street person that, but if he's an accomplished musician and has a decent home, I don't, know what category to throw him into.
right, he's
Well,
doing what he thinks is important.
He's an artist. So,
Yeah, there you go.
yeah.
He's trying to say.
I just want to say Denizen, you said he sounded like, I think he sounds like John Lovitz.
Love it?
Yeah, John Lovitz.
Okay, then try this.
Cigarette.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah, that was good. Yep.
That's spot on.
Cigarette. Prepare to be smoked.
Well, wasn't
It is him.
Yes.
It is him.
Yes.
Welcome, John. My God, that's spot on.
Looks like Bridges, sounds like Lovitz.
It,
I'm not sure if that's going to get you dates or lose them.
he totally does.
I'm thinking the looking like Bridges is good enough to get the dates. I'm thinking.
Yeah, until you open your mouth.
Oh,
And then they're like, "Oh,
Women
that's
like
not
the
what
strong
I was."
silent type.
Of course, I guess even Bo Bridges got dates. So yeah, you're probably all right.
I say that because I saw the latest Bill Burr insult video, and it was Bill Burr and John Lovitz, and I was like, I remember that voice, and you sound exactly like John. That's funny.
I know. I got to throw this up there.
I can't read it. Somebody read it to me.
I plan on singing Mr. Blue Sky to Satan the day I first meet him. I don't think he's going to give me a top 40 hit guitar lick.
Oh, blue sky, nothing but blue sky.
No.
Nope.
No, the other
Nope.
one.
Mr. Blue Sky. It wasn't Blue Oyster Cult, was it?
I think it
Who
was.
performed that, Wesley?
I don't even know what that is. You mean Electric Light Orchestra?
Oh, I think that was it.
Yeah,
I think it
that
was
was it.
ELO. Yep.
Yeah. John.
Oh,
got it.
ELO. Okay, I've heard from them in a while. Are they still a thing? Yeah, I guess probably not.
I always remember that was a question on the first season of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and Regis Philbin was reading. I think they were one of the answers, and he was reading them off, and it was like, was it A, the Rolling Stones, B, ELO?
ELO.
They had a hell of a light show back in the day.
Yeah.
Weren't they in the Star Wars Christmas thing that everybody hated? Was that them? No.
I'm not familiar with it.
There was a Star Wars Christmas thing?
Yeah, it was horrible. It was about the Ewoks, and it was horrible.
Okay, I was wondering if that. I didn't know if you were talking about Saturday Night Live.
No. That was back in the
day. I
day.
remember there was an Ewok Christmas or something.
Yeah, and it was on TV.
Yeah, and
back then, yeah.
About TV stuff.
But back then you couldn't tape anything, right? So you have to imagine a ton of people were into Star Wars back then. So they had to sit in front of their TV at that exact time to watch it. And then they watch. If you watch it, it's on YouTube. Imagine all the disappointed people. Like, what is this shit? This is horrible. If you watch it, you'll know what I mean.
I'll have to look that one up tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's hard to watch.
Yeah.
And everybody's in it. Han Solo, Princess Leia, the real actors, like Luke is in it. All the big, because they weren't big names back then, right? They just did Star Wars. They were kind of popular, but they weren't established. So they got them to do this crap on TV. And it's hilarious how bad it is.
Shame on me. I just realized on my voluminous iTunes list, I don't have any ELO. Huh. I'm going to have to buy some ELO.
I worked in a kitchen where the guy played the whole album twice a day, or one of the albums twice a day. And I was like, dude.
Kill me now.
Yeah.
ELO.
See, now I kind of miss Wesley. He was telling stories, and we were all engaged. Now we don't know. Now we don't know what the hell to do.
And he was willing to digress. He addressed some pizza issues, and
there you go.
The guy who went to Saturday Night Live. It wasn't all fire and brimstone preaching, and
he left you wanting more.
Yeah, I did.
He's got skills.
He's got storytelling skills, that's for sure.
Well, I asked him if I saw that he wrote comedy or something, and I asked him. He said that.
Yeah.
Okay, somebody else found it at the same time I did.
Really?
I just started playing and I heard an echo. I'm like, wait a minute. Oh, that's Mugster. Okay.
Yeah, for a little taste, just to remind us how it goes.
I'm going to buy it.
My favorite tune of all times from Wesley.
That's the
one. That's the one he's going to play when he meets Satan.
A month from now, we'll be sitting around saying, "Remember that guy that came in and reminded us of the Electric Light Orchestra?" And, yeah, we won't remember any of the other stuff, but isn't he the one that used to be a butler for Jim Belushi or something like that?
I'll tell you one thing though. I'm going to remember green Volvo wagon. I'm going to be looking for it now, for sure.
Oh.
Yeah, maybe they've got one in Canada. Eh?
Yeah.
He did say a green Volvo, not vulva, right?
Volvo.
Where is your mind, Markster? Okay.
Those don't come in green.
I would hope not. If you come across
aliens.
one run.
Unless you believe in aliens, maybe.
Sounds like something James Tiberius Kirk would be interested in.
Unless you're from Orion.
The green women.
All right. Oh, sweet talking woman. Okay, yeah, that's another one. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm buying.
A 92. That's old, man. Now that's like 32 years old.
Yeah. You know how I always do that math? 92. I go, okay, eight would make it 2000. Then you add on the 24.
Plus 24, 32.
Yeah.
Hold on tight to your dreams. I'm sorry. I'm buying ELO tunes. Xanadu. They did Xanadu. I thought that was
Olivia Newton-John.
Yeah, that's what I think of when I hear Xanadu.
It's not going to be an electric or a hybrid then.
I got to wonder why anybody would buy music anymore when you got
streaming,
YouTube, Pandora, Spotify.
I just discovered this songwriter out of Scotland and I just adore, and he's been around for a while, and I feel really old now because my daughter goes, "Oh yeah, I like that guy," and I was like, "Oh gee."
I always like it the other way around when you're, of course, I always remember the one incident with my nephew, but he's like 50 now, but many years ago, I was in the car with him. We were going to the mall. It was about a 45-minute drive, and we're in the car, and the song came on the radio. I don't know. Oh, God. You might all know it. Signs, signs, everywhere, signs, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And I started singing along with it, and Chad goes, "Uncle Dan, you know that song?" And I said, "Well, I knew it 20 years ago whenever the 5-man electric band did it." But he was like, "How could you know that song? It's brand new."
Yeah.
Who's
we were like that too when we were kids, right? Our parents would talk about stuff and we'd say, "Well, you don't know anything." And you know, the kids today are the same as we were back then, I guess.
Oh, that's the one. That's okay.
You know, the thing.
Sergeant's just spending money buying songs right now.
Yes, I do that. Because, you know, sometimes I'm on a long trip to New York and I'm driving through those mountains in Pennsylvania. I can't pick up the streaming services. So I got to have a good library.
Makes sense.
All right, I'm done. I'm done buying songs.
What was the band that used to do Dixie Chicken? I love that band. They were great.
Dixie Chicken?
Dixie Chicks. The Dixie
No, not Dixie Chicks. Dixie Chicken was a song that they did.
I don't know the song. It's triggering nothing for me.
Dixie Chicken, I'll be your Tennessee lamb.
Little Feet? Little Feet?
Yeah, that's the one. I love that band.
I just Googled it. I don't know it.
Yeah.
I love
You realize your singing just chased Finkel away.
Ah, well, whatever. That grizzled bastard.
Now it's all ours. It's all ours.
I'm just reading Wesley right now.
The FBI took all my info.
But I do not think they listen or believe.
They were probably just checking to see if he was harmless.
Yeah, they wanted to see if he was going to nuke Chicago.
In a green Volvo. That needs to be in the sky for it to work.
Checked all the storage rentals, you know, in the area, see if anybody had one stashed in a storage rental. A green Volvo.
Are you going to get a green Volvo?
I wonder what that job is like. When you're like the FBI guy that goes around the country talking to people that are either, you know, borderline a little out there or could potentially actually be a threat to national security. And you have to go interview them and determine.
Yeah, that's a hard job because it's a thin line, right?
Well, still, they're probably a hell of a lot more professional than the street cops. I mean, the street cops.
Oh yeah, big time.
Place.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, I mean,
I throw Jesus at it. Wham!
An earthquake is more professional than a street cop.
I don't know if they ever changed, but I can remember years ago, in order to join the FBI, besides all the things you would normally think of, you know, with passing like intelligence tests and going through the physical and all that, you had to have a degree. You had to be a lawyer or an accountant.
Yeah.
Back in the day, yes. Now it's all about diversity, so they don't give a shit as long as your color fits. They'll hire you.
You know what? Women. That's because of women. Women ruined everything.
Oh, of course they do.
I love peppermint.
I mean,
peppermint. I love peppermint.
Women voting ruined everything.
Oh yeah,
well, general women.
Yeah.
No, it's all downhill from there.
Women don't like to see men having fun without them.
Well, exactly. What's the first thing that happened after the women got the vote? Prohibition. Right?
Hey,
yeah.
They took away our booze.
Yeah.
My family did none of that. We were moonshiners.
You were?
No, my family. Well, I was pretty close to being one.
I wonder
I did the modern day version. I grew
having
weak.
trouble finding the button.
The FBI is going to be heading over to your house.
That's okay.
Wonder-
They have to
Wonder how
have
they came up.
in the face.
Hi, David.
Where do you suppose moonshine came from? Maybe because they had to do it at night and hidden away.
Well, Jody makes hers in the back of a green Volvo.
Well, I mean the term. I wonder why they called it that, though.
No, it's a Subaru because this is Alaska. We got to do it in a Subaru.
4x4, huh?
Yeah.
All-wheel drive. All-wheel drive.
With studs.
It's not a real 4x4.
Well, you got 3 studs right here.
All-wheel. So.
Good old pickup 4x4 truck. Can't beat that.
I love those little Subarus. I can plow through some snow in that thing.
No, I mean, I have a pickup truck because I haul stuff and I have a trailer and I do stuff. I hate seeing guys that have pickup trucks and never haul anything or pull anything. You know, those are the guy I really hate, though. It's like, dude,
those guys that got the what were those great big giant trucks with the Hummers?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Symbol of trucks.
Yeah, ridiculous.
When I was a kid,
I did happen to see one that was tricked out for going to fording rivers and stuff. You know, he had his exhaust way up high, and that was the only one I ever saw like that. All the rest of them were in pristine condition, and you know, don't touch it. You put a scratch on it.
When I was a kid, the only people that had pickup trucks were people that needed them for work.
Yeah.
And very few people had what would be called an SUV now, like some Jeeps or what was it? There was the Universal Scout. And we all you'd go, people would go hunting and just, regular sedans out through 2 feet of snow and stuff. It's just funny. Now it rains and it's like, oh, better get the Range Rover out.
Yeah. Wait, is Wesley coming over? Wesley, bring Corona, please.
Mako, you with us?
I wonder who mucks out the dove pen in this guy's head.
Let's not be denigrating the good name of Muck.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. My bad.
Mucks out the dove head?
He's got the doves of Jesus in his head, and you got to muck out the pen every now and again. You know, the chicken
muck
coop.
Out.
You got to scrape the
I'm a slow learner.
Oh, I got an incident. I got to let you guys go.
Okay, we'll see you later, maybe. We're just looking at all the nice glowy stuff in that you have there.
Oh, yeah.
Are you a gamer?
I'm a gamer. I just like shiny stuff.
Oh, okay.
Are you in the biz, as we say these days?
I used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have another channel that's about teaching on electronics. It's not this channel, of course. I don't use my main channel for that. So I used to do a lot of videos. I started 6-7 years ago. And at some point I stopped because I ran the gamut, and my channel is still there to help people learn electronics, like kids and teenagers and stuff like that. So they actually get to learn something.
Cool.
That's nice.
That's my contribution to the world. That's what I did.
And it's forever.
Yeah. It's free.
It sounds like the kind of channel I would like, because I'm no good at, I can't read a manual to learn to do anything. I'm not real good at self-learning, but like if I always needed, like if your channel was the kind that would go, okay, now look.
Oh yeah.
Take it out of the box, plug it in, push this button,
It's not that easy. I go into the programming of it, but I explain every step of it. So it's mostly about Arduinos that you can make anything with. It's very cheap, and I show you how to program it step by step, and I show you the result at the end. So it's every video is like a little tutorial to do one thing, and it's very basic, and I try
But
to.
you accomplish something at the end of the little tutorial series, I guess.
Yeah, I show it working. I explain every module that we use and everything, and what you can do with it, and how to communicate with it. I mean, there is a little bit of work involved, and you have to be interested in learning, of course.
Yes.
But once you learn the basics, you can probably do whatever you want. Let's say, well, I want something that alerts me if my cat enters the room. Well, you don't have to go to Amazon and buy something. You could actually make it yourself and stuff like that. You know, it opens up possibilities.
Right.
That's basically what I need to stuff like that. Show me the basics, and then I can sit and play with it and figure it out from there. You know.
Yeah.
The real young kids about.
It's hard though for young kids. I have a nephew and a niece, and I try to introduce them to it. It's hard. They really don't want to get into anything.
But they've gotten another program now where they're teaching the kids about, you know, if you do put it together this way, it does this, or if you put it
some
together.
Some kids are more open to it, but some kids really just want their tablets and their phones and TikToks, and you know, it's sad, but that's the state of the world right now with the new generation. Anyway,
I always loved this stuff. If I didn't know about it, I wanted to know about it. You know?
Nope. Lighters don't work.
Here, I got one.
Yeah. Okay, let me get something real quick. I'll be right back.
I always have lighters. I always have at least 3 lighters in my proximity. I went to the North Slope once, or I was going to Kaktovik actually, and I had like 20 lighters. I had a bunch in my check. I had a bunch in my carry-on. I had a bunch in my pockets, and they shook me down at the last checkpoint and took all my fire, and I was like pissed.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than not having a light when you need one, and it is an addiction. I will admit, I would love
to stop.
I would love to stop, but I do enjoy it a little bit. You know, when
I enjoy it. I don't know what's wrong with me. There's all kinds of shit wrong with me, I guess.
There was nothing wrong with it in the 70s. Now it's demonized to a point where it's getting ridiculous. You know.
It was hard when they first banned smoking indoors as I flew through the airport from work, because
in bars,
you know, you'd been out at work 3 weeks or whatever. You're sitting at the bar having a drink, and then you had to run all the way. I mean, I must have sparked up a cigarette 3 or 4 times before they said, "Now we're not going to serve you anymore if you keep sparking up in here." You know, I'd spark it up and then I'd put it out and go, "Oh, I'm so sorry." Oh.
Yeah, and then people started vaping. And then they outlawed that too, and they just don't want people to have any fun at all nowadays.
Okay.
You know, no liberties, no fun. You know, just follow the rules, go to work, pay your taxes. So, I live in the country though, so I got out of the city to have more liberty.
A little more liberty, yeah.
Yeah. It's amazing how much liberty you have if you move out of a city. People have more of a live and let live attitude.
Yeah.
You know, guys are going on their 4-wheelers and everything, and nobody cares. It's fun. You know, have fun. We don't have a local police. So basically, if the police comes here, it's because there is a problem. They will not park and try to trap people with tickets, fake tickets. People take care of it. People take care of their own here. There's still some places like that. You just have to get out.
That's kind of how it was here. And then the last few years, and I'm going to blame it all on Trump, these people just went hog wild. I mean, they're intolerant, crazy. I mean, I'm surrounded. I don't know what to do. I'm glad I have my 3 acres, and then I don't have to go out and see anybody but once a month at the grocery store. And then I hightail it back to the property, you know?
Well, I have a different view on that, though. Here in Canada, most liberal people are the intolerant ones.
It's the same in the United States as well.
Yeah, I have to be honest. Most people that are conservative here, just they don't harass you with stuff.
Well, they mind their own damn business is what they do.
Yeah, The liberals are the one that I stay away from. Because they're just looking for a cause. They're just looking for a reason to
ban smoking and vaping in another place.
It doesn't
Save
matter.
the snow. Save the snowflakes. No.
Yeah, pretty much.
I actually hate that because I've been a liberal most of my life, and I grew up in the time when it was the liberals that were being told, America, love it or leave it. You don't like it, move to Russia. And they were the ones being shouted down and all that. And then, it came around where the liberals sort of came on top of a lot of stuff. And it drives me nuts when, like on college campuses, when they'll invite some conservative speaker and all the students will go out and protest and say, no, we can't hear this. No, no, no. And it's like, it drives, I remember it was my side that was being shouted down, and now it's my side that is doing the shouting, and I hate it.
How good can it be if Ben Shapiro's talking at your college and, you don't want that fascist bastard there?
It doesn't matter, though. It doesn't matter because if you shut down speech that
I understand it's a tit for tat. Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't like speech, if you ban speech you don't like,
right? I understand.
When the tides turn, then they're going to shut you down. So it never ends. It just switches from one to another.
I disagree with what you say to the very depths of. I disagree with what you say to the very depths of my soul, but I will fight with my life for your ability to say it.
Yeah.
But that's what I feel is.
But
it's going away now. People are fighting. People are fighting and using government to pass laws to ban hate speech. And hate speech is speech you don't like, and that's not hate speech. It's just you don't like what that person is saying, and that's a slippery slope. And I feel like we're slipping a lot.
So many people in America right now, they talk about freedom of speech, freedom of religion, and what they mean is you're free to say what I agree with. Yeah. You're free to practice my religion.
Yeah. I never had a problem with anybody saying anything or a TV show or a podcast or whatever that I didn't like. You know what I did? I just didn't watch it.
Yeah. And like you said, or like Jody said about Ben Shapiro going on college campus. First of all,
you can go there, but you can't shut down the protests. If that's the way it's going to be.
But the protests they're borderline violent now. They're destroying shit, and it's not a protest. It's not a protest. It's basically an insurrection. The people are fearing for their lives at that point that they're going to kill them and shit. Come on.
Well, there are
also
sevens out there.
Yeah. If you're secure in what you believe, you're not going to be afraid of hearing someone else say the opposite.
But don't listen.
Yeah, I don't want to hear it, so that's my stance on it. I won't.
And the other thing is, you never know. You could learn something. Somebody could say something, and you go, "Well, wait a minute. That part might make sense."
Those are rare. Those are rare liberals.
Well, I think of it the other way though too.
Well, can we agree that I don't know your ages or anything, but I'm very happy that I'm at the age I am, because I wouldn't want to live in this world being young. No. I really wouldn't. It's horrible.
Growing up, and it's changed a lot. But I don't pine for the good old days. I look to the future, and I'm happy in the space that I'm in presently. You know what I mean? I'm happy in the moment. So,
but it ain't good. It ain't good. I'm not gonna lie. What I see outside, I try to tune it out as much as I can, but I don't like what I see, and that's why I moved in the country. I don't have to deal with it. That's my solution. Get away.
Yeah. I'm glad that I'm retired, but I wish I could have my old prostate back.
I don't have that problem yet. Hopefully, it won't happen to me. Yeah, it's sad, but what are you gonna do?
Well, we're gonna live out our lives and hope that our kids do a better job.
No, the kids are not taking care of it. That's the problem. They're not. They're protesting the wrong things.
I released 4 of mine into the wild with very good values and straight shooting heads on their shoulders. You know, they're smart. And,
They're the minority. They're the minority.
Engaged. They're engaged. I made sure of it.
That's good.
I like the new young people.
What
You like-
Like the last couple of iterations weren't very good, but the new ones I
The
like.
new ones are better. I will agree with you. They don't fall for that shit much.
I like the way they talk about work, especially.
Yeah.
Quiet
I'm
They're
quitting.
not buying that shit. Yeah.
So the worst generation was what, the millennials, I guess, or the
Yeah.
one before that,
What era is that? I don't even know what they are anymore.
2000.
I'm in 1960s. So
You know what I often told people, this is a couple of years ago, that they were complaining about. I think it's the millennials that you hear
Oh,
people talk about. Oh yeah, they grew up where everybody got a trophy and they this and then, and
Yeah.
I'd say, yeah, and which generation was it that was passing those trophies out?
Mm, Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
don't blame them for the way we raised them.
right.
Well, the institutions also had a lot to do with it. I mean, if you go to colleges now, it's totally not the same. I mean, it's indoctrination. I mean, they're pushing agendas on these kids, and they're believing it because they have an authority figure that are telling them what to think, and that's a scary thing.
Pretty sure it's always been that way. It's just It's-
I don't
but
know.
it's
I
worse.
went to college. It wasn't like that.
Yeah, I think colleges
I
used
think
to
you
be
know-
better at teaching you how to think rather than what to think.
Right.
I don't think
Cult.
it's as obvious to you when you're at college age, and then of course everything progresses, including
I don't know.
propaganda itself.
It wasn't like that. It wasn't that
I
flagrant.
was not
Well, you're saying you
indoctrinated.
had a lot of fun in college.
Yeah, I was not
And
indoctrinated.
you're indoctrinated to different things too, right? So
I am a free thinker.
whatever you're indoctrinated to is automatically
Well,
going to be a lot more appealing to your palate.
Yeah, in my time, there was no gender studies.
Right.
It didn't exist. It wasn't a thing.
I
No,
always like
I went
to,
in computers. I went in computers.
No, but there was Soviet studies, you know.
as a diploma and a career, I don't think so. There was courses maybe, but they weren't mandatory.
here. This will tell you what my age is. When I went to college, the computer programs, which I didn't take computers, they taught two different languages,
I can
COBOL
guess.
and Fortran.
Okay, yeah, I remember those. So
That was
we're
that was
not that
advanced
far-
computing.
we're not that far off.
Are
When
we
I went to
West
college,
now?
we didn't have personal computers. We had a mini computer
Yeah.
and we had terminals, and you had to compile during the night to actually get the results. So yeah, it was hard back then to program.
I on social stuff, I often say I think about like when I was in high school, you know. God. But anyway, I'm pretty sure Roe v. Wade passed while I was still in school.
When was
And
that? When was that?
like
74.
1924. No, I
No,
graduated.
20.
I graduated high school in 74.
Okay, you're much older
but-
than I am.
So, but
Not
at
much.
the time, back then, when I was like, you know, well, we'll say 17, that's when I graduated high school. So I thought the abortion thing was settled, you know? I thought women's rights was on its way to being fixed. I thought civil rights, it's like, okay, this is pretty much taken care of. Now, there's a couple of things, if you'd have told me back then that would be legal, anybody I knew would have gone, yeah, where's the guys with the white jackets? One would be gay marriage. The other would be legalized marijuana. Now look where we are.
Yeah, we got that in Canada now.
Gay marriage is mostly accepted. It's at least legal everywhere. And marijuana is more and more becoming legalized, but abortion's back out there. Civil rights is still a mess. And women's rights are, you know, it's like, it's just weird that the way that happened. The
What's
stuff
wrong
that I
with women's
thought was
rights?
fixed.
Women's right has no problem today.
Well,
I mean, name
if
me
you
a
put it-
right. Name me a right that women don't have today.
you
Especially
mean
one
like
that men
every-
do.
the right to decide what they do with their own bodies.
Okay, the abortion thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's not everywhere, though. I mean,
it's
different from state
it's
to
bad
state.
enough.
I don't have any
That's the only
reproductive rights
one.
either, though. So
Yeah.
we're kind of
Women-
even there.
Look,
Biggie, I mean,
women won because if you look college and universities and everything, they dominate in that. Men are a minority in college and universities. Women make more money than men now in the same jobs. Women are crushing it, but they're still not happy. They want more. They want more. It will never end. It will never be resolved. This is not a thing we should be striving for. It's been done. They have all the rights. They're making the money.
Oh.
They're actually getting hired more than men now.
They're in the process of ripping away those rights. They're in the process of actively seeking to rip away.
Which ones? Which rights?
How long ago was the Me Too movement?
The vote?
Pretty soon we won't be able to have our own bank accounts again, you know.
What?
What are you talking
What are you
about?
talking about?
Who
is talking about taking?
Going to try to have their way, and that's what they're doing right now.
No, you're kidding. That's not real. That's not real. That's not
No,
real. Women have a problem now.
The fear has been lit underneath my ass over it. You know, I mean,
no.
Where are you hearing this, though? I'm wondering what the sources of this information is for you.
Won't come for the rest.
No.
I mean,
where are you hearing that?
You're fine. You're fine.
Where are you hearing that women are going to have their right to vote taken away? Where have you heard that in the last 20 years?
I haven't, but it's on the it's on the docket for the right wing.
It isn't. Come on.
Okay.
Sure
That's not real. That's not real. You're kidding.
Sure it is. If they're willing to take away women's bodily autonomy, what else? Like it's like the saying about the Jews. First they came for him, and I didn't care because I wasn't that, and and on and on. And then they came for me, and there was no one left to fight for me. So
you're becoming a Wesley now.
No, not necessarily.
What do you mean by bodily autonomy? You mean abortion?
The abortion thing. Yeah.
I'm just looking to history to inform my my decision.
I don't think that'll stick. I think abortion rights will come back, but I do find it.
Get out there and
the comparison, though, to like the right to vote or the term bodily autonomy in itself is a bit of it's disingenuous at best.
Well, look at how recent was the Me Too movement?
Well, it's not your bodily autonomy
rights,
that you're fighting for, right? Pregnancy would be bodily autonomy. Yeah, it's someone else, using a contraption, shoving it up into your uterus, slicing up an unborn fetus, and then sucking out through a tube. That's the right that you're fighting for.
Yeah, I am. Because I like planning my own families. I'd had 4 abortions. I would have had a whole litter of puppies if I hadn't done that.
I'm just saying, call it what it is.
Yeah.
Bodily autonomy, I would say, is a misnomer.
It sounds better.
Yeah, it makes it sounds better.
I want to be able to make decisions about my health issues without political figures in my doctor's office. Period. End story.
I don't disagree with you, but again, I would refer to it more honestly. I wouldn't use it as a way to presume that women are going to lose the right to vote, for example, and also wouldn't call it bodily autonomy either.
What would you call it?
Abortion, I think, is a good term. We could stick with abortion.
Yeah, well, that doesn't frighten me at all. I could say that.
There seems to be some kind of insinuation that people who are against abortion, they're quite vocal. I think you would agree,
and they
right?
can be against it, but they don't get to be against it for me.
I'm
They're
I can't
imposing their will upon me.
Yeah, that's what we do. That's what government is. That's what laws are.
But I can't
Are human beings? Well, I mean, that's planet Earth. Human beings use social power to impose their will on others. What I was saying, though, is that people who are against abortion are pretty vocal about it. You would agree, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
They're very open and about the reasons why they're against it. And so I don't think we do a disservice to both the topic and to any pro-choice position by claiming that it has something to do with taking away a woman's bodily autonomy, or that men are trying to force women to breed, or that it isn't what these people say it is, where it's largely a religious objection to and to people, and then also the second largest contingent of people who are against abortion would be women who are of the age to have started a family. That's usually when they start to change their views politically on abortion. So those two groups of people, I don't think, are trying to like take away women's right to vote or force them to breed or take away their autonomy. They're just very morally and staunchly opposed to killing fetuses. They don't like it.
Well, I'm morally and staunchly opposed to people imposing their will upon me. I mean, seriously, I'm an American. I have rights. And I'm not going to allow them to take away my rights. Any of them, not one. We will get that back. I'm not worried about that. But in the interim, I mean, all this gruesomeness is going to happen. Women who are having troubled pregnancies. My daughter just had a troubled pregnancy. She had to go have an abortion. She didn't want that, but it happened. Now imagine if they let her languish into sepsis and let her fucking die. That's wrong. That's against all the morals, all of them.
I'm pretty sure it's against the law too, everywhere in the United States.
No, it's not against the law. Not in Texas. Not in Alabama.
Yeah, but I
don't believe that's true.
I don't think people are talking about that situation exactly.
If you have a failed pregnancy that turns septic and is about to kill you, you can get an abortion.
I mean, that's an extreme case.
And then they want to prosecute you when you come back to the state because you had to leave the state to have medical attention. And then they want to prosecute you for
but not for a pregnancy that's going to kill you, though.
Yes.
No,
you'd
have to show me that law.
Go look up Texas.
I wasn't paying attention.
I have. I look it up all the time, and I keep up to these things because they're interesting to me, especially being pro-choice. And the law in Texas has exemptions for when the life of the mother is being threatened. I have no idea what you're saying while I'm talking, just to let you know. I can only hear myself. It keeps cutting your mic out because my voice is, I guess, coming out over your speaker.
When someone tries to tell a woman that her fears are unfounded, when she's seeing the exact opposite, and she's the woman.
Well,
we are being targeted.
But my reaction to you wasn't to tell you were unfounded. It was to say, where are you hearing that? Where are you seeing it? And your answer was nowhere. So yes, I believe that it's unfounded because both you and I have seen no evidence for what you're afraid of.
Well, I don't understand your.
That happens a lot, though. People say a lot of things that they have no facts. They can't point to anything, and it's just an emotional reaction. And we see that today a lot. And people don't want to have discussion about it because they can't back it up. I'm not saying you're doing that. I'm just saying from abortion to the right to vote, there's a big leap there.
Well, it is a big leap. It is a big leap. I understand that. But what I'm saying is that they come for one, they're coming for the next one. They're coming.
Not necessarily. You know how hard it is to remove the vote for women? It would be impossible.
I don't even really think they're going to be able to stop abortion. I think, like, honestly, this Congress is going to push back against this. The states for most women, their lives have not changed that much. Because most places where there was strong support for abortion, it was a state. Now it's a state issue.
Yeah, we don't like that.
And the people that are being negatively impacted, I think they'll have the final say about this. The
thing that I loved the most about the State of the Union address the other night was that Biden looked the Supreme Court in the eye and said, "Women have the political and voting power to rip what you did away, and we'll put it right." And I trust that that's the thing that he's going to try to do. But we have to all go out and do our part to empower our president to restore something that was wrongfully ripped away from us.
You realize he was pandering, right?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. That's what they do. You know, they go for the easy target to get you to vote for them. That's all they do. They're not interested in you at all.
All he was doing is proving that they did their job anyway, too, by his comment. The implication is that votes can change the law. And that's the whole point of the Supreme Court, was to say the last court that made law at the bench fucked up. So now we're going to send it back to the people who are supposed to write the laws. Here you go. And then Biden's response is, we're going to show you who can write the laws. Well, I mean, it's about time. It's been, 1974? 30, 50 years.
Been settled law for over 50 years or just about 50 years now.
Mm-hmm.
That was never settled.
Why mess?
There's people literally blowing up like clinics in this country over that law.
Oh, I've walked through those. I know what they are. They're a bunch of angry people trying to impose their will upon a bunch of ladies that need medical care is what they're doing. It's not pleasant.
I haven't been following this in Canada, but I don't think we have this big abortion discussion here. I don't think we do.
Is it legal there?
How many religious zealots we have in this nation? I mean,
yeah,
it's freaking me out.
Maybe that's it. Maybe that's it.
It's a large source of why America has problems that other similar countries don't. It's a recurring theme.
We're not. We're far from perfect, though. I mean,
for sure.
Look at the state we're in right now. I mean, it's a police state. The hate speech laws that could put you in prison for life. It's unbelievable. If you start looking at everything they're doing, it's communism right here.
Oh yeah, like the way you mentioned Trudeau earlier. I think in the context of Trump, it's like Trump is like President Hoover compared to Trudeau.
I'll take Trump.
Yeah.
Any day I'll take him against Trudeau.
So you think you got it bad with Trump? I mean, holy shit.
Maybe Jody, you don't know, but here in Canada, Trudeau, he's well, I'm not going to say the H word because it's ridiculous, but we're becoming a police state to, if I say something on the internet and they're watching everything and something that doesn't align with their values and everything, I could be arrested. So people could come in, arrest me.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy here. So that's why I say
here in the United States, we let our corporations do the dirty work.
Yeah, we're getting there. We're just behind you a little bit. But it's horrible here. I mean, Trudeau has become a dictator. You see what happened with the convoy, the truckers, 2 years ago here.
Talk about shutting down people's bank accounts.
Yeah, shutting down people's bank account and laughing and smirking about it on TV. You could look it up. It's disgusting.
And you gotta love like the checks and balances. It was quite American the moment when I watched your government they were like, yeah, no, he broke the law. He wasn't supposed to do that. So everybody, anybody want some fries? What do you like? That's it.
The Supreme Court here in Canada established that getting the emergency act for the trucker convoy was illegal. They had no reason to. So that's the Supreme Court. And then the government here said, we're going to appeal it. The government appeals the Supreme Court. Like,
yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's a Trump move there.
You hate Trump so much.
I hate him. I hate him.
Trump didn't even make it to the Supreme Court.
He's a disgusting pig.
None of the courts would hear his case, and he just left.
What's this thing that people say that some people have? Trump derangement syndrome. I mean, you're pretty close.
TDS is real.
TDS, yeah.
It's real, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, it is.
He mismanaged things so badly. How could you forgive that? I mean, really.
I mean, you guys were pretty good with Trump. I'm going to give you that. The economy was booming. No wars.
The economy is better. Gas prices are down. We're pumping more oil. All the stuff that they claim Biden was going to kill is better.
Every what? How many?
Gas is not cheaper than it was when Trump was in office right now. It's not even close.
Cheaper now than when he left office.
You know what I feel you guys are doing? You're doing the Bible guy thing. You're picking and choosing what
Well,
fits
no,
you.
you gotta
Those
have
are the
keep
those are the big
keep in
issues
mind
they
that
always said Trump was good at.
keep in mind that's because when Trump left office, it was in the middle of the pandemic during a government shutdown
That he
and energy.
mishandled.
That he allowed, because he's
But
so ignorant.
it's better than what they did here in Canada.
But
Yeah,
but the stock market is higher than it ever was during his time.
well, of course, the stock market goes up.
Yeah, stock market is fake.
So
anyway.
the next president will be higher than this one. And if the
It
next
doesn't-
president's Trump,
doesn't
that's
always
going to
go
be
up.
funny.
It doesn't always go up.
If I was Trump though, I'm gonna
Eventually,
give him
yeah,
this.
every 4 years, it's going to be higher than it was 4 years ago.
I'm gonna
No,
give him.
sure.
This.
Populist starves, and we can't get potatoes because the corporations are sucking all the money, and I mean,
I'm gonna say one thing that Trump did really wrong is that he shouldn't have run. He should have just gone. He didn't need to run. And I feel that's a mistake. You should just, okay, people don't like me. Fuck you guys. I'm going to go do my thing.
yeah, screw you guys. I'm going
Yeah.
You
home.
mean run again a second time? You mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except
Just
he's
say-
doing this. He's
just
doing
say
this
fuck.
to get out of all
prison.
the court cases, though.
No, the court
delaying
cases are
all-
because
they're
he
delaying
decided to
all-
run.
Yeah.
No,
They gave him
it's
every
all-
opportunity to bow out, and he refused. And then all the indictments started rolling in.
No, he's trying to stave
They-
off the federal indictments. Period. End of story. He's got some state ones that won't go away, whether or not he's president. But he's just going to kill everybody. I
all
mean,
that stuff was delayed while
he's
all
fucking
that stuff was
crazy.
delayed while he was president.
If I was Trump, I would have
Never mind.
come off and say, you know what, you guys are screwed. I'm out of here. Because you guys, if you don't have Trump, what are you gonna do?
Yeah,
What are you gonna do?
I want
That's it.
nothing to do with him.
that's
but
my
what are you
theory
gonna-
on Trump.
What are you
Is
gonna
he's
do with
act-
your lives if you
he's
don't
this-
have Trump?
He's the scapegoat that allows this, kind of projection and thinking. That's my theory on Trump. Is that's what he's good for.
Yeah.
He's like the.
All he is a puppet for the rich people anyway. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Oh my
Well, I mean,
God.
every president in the history of the United States fits that description.
I think he's less than others. You know why?
Yeah,
Because
he's
he's
less
wealthy.
predictable.
He's wealthy already. He was wealthy already. Most of these guys that are coming in as presidents, senators, and everything, that's how they make their money. They're not rich when they're coming in. Most of them.
He's also nuttier, so you can't. It's
Yeah.
harder to buy him off and tell him what to do.
Yeah.
He's like a wild card. There's no telling
You
at
do,
any
you
point
do
he might just
know
be
he
like,
became
no.
wealthy by
I don't
being a
want that.
cheater.
Yeah, he's a businessman.
again. That sounds like every other president.
Yeah.
Every other president didn't pay their employees and stuff like that. Is that what you're saying?
Most presidents didn't have employees because they never had to really make it out in the private sector.
He wasn't successful.
The president before Trump was Obama.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He never ran a business in his life. The
Yeah.
president before him was Bush, right, Jr. His dad, and his uncle Prescott, he never had to work a day in his life. He faked his way through the military, had everything handed to him. Who was before that? Clinton.
Clinton.
Clinton might be one of the few middle class presidents. Did he ever run a business?
A law offices and
Yeah, he was a
scandals.
lawyer.
Yeah, so yes, he was a lawyer. So I wouldn't. For most, there are some lawyers that work their balls off. I don't think the Clintons and the Rodhams were in that category.
Ronald
No.
Reagan. Ronald Reagan.
Reagan was an actor.
Yeah. That's
He was
true.
from Hollywood.
Yeah. But he wasn't
Another
politically
bullshit
corrupt.
artist.
But he wasn't politically corrupt though.
I mean, to the extent to which Ronald Reagan was not politically corrupt was the extent to which he was completely demented upstairs and had no idea what was going on because he had Alzheimer's through most of the presidency.
Oh, you're
And-
talking about
and-
Biden? You're talking about Biden now?
Him too. It's
Yeah.
eerie if you live through both. Watching
Yeah.
this motherfucker up there is scary as hell because you remember the other guy that had blankly stared off into fucking nowhere.
That's crazy. I watch. I'm Canadian. I don't give a fuck. But when I watch Biden, I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
Dude,
This is fucking.
Think about what kind of a
comedy.
person his wife is.
Ugh. Yeah, they're using him. They're leading. It's abuse. It's just basically abuse at this point. I mean, you're abusing an old, demented man. He's not making any decisions. We know that.
This country is such a joke.
I mean, come on. Come on. Who believes that Biden can make any decision? Except maybe dress himself in the morning. And even that might not be true.
With a lot of amphetamines, I'm sure he has his moments.
No,
oh my God.
He's gone.
This conversation is taking a turn.
But this is not putting down the man. This is actually protecting an elderly person that has limited mental capacity. And they're running him again? I mean, I don't get it. I don't get it.
That's awesome.
I don't get it. I don't know how you guys can.
I'd like to have somebody younger, but this is what we have, and it's better than the alternative.
I know. That's what I was getting at, is that you guys think that Trump is so horrible that you will vote for an old demented man that can't make any decision, and who makes the decisions? You're not voting for the guys that make the decisions because he is.
Yeah.
That's scary.
No, we don't even see those people.
No, those people are in the background pulling the strings and everything. Yeah, but that's scary because you're voting for people you don't even know because this guy ain't running the country.
I'm a lot more comfortable with the cadre of people that Biden has around him than I was with the cadre of people that Trump had around him.
I'm going to have to go with a big nope on either one of those sets of people. That's a big nope from me.
You're talking about the big industrial complex and those black ops and the people you never see, you never voted for. They can do whatever they want. Yeah, no. They're not accountable, of course, because
like Bush Sr., who was vice president during Reagan's administration, and his head was out in the clouds.
Anyway, I get it. You want to vote for the lesser evil. But man, if he runs and he wins, let's say he wins, you think he's going to make it 4 years?
Maybe not. And I'm not too
It'll
thrilled
be
with that
interesting
either. I mean, I'd rather see somebody like Pete Buttigieg or somebody like that in there, somebody with some youth and smarts.
Yeah. Well, stuck between
these
a rock
are
and a hard place.
And we have to be practical.
This is practical?
This is scary.
It's all frightening.
It's a fucking clown show. There's nothing practical about what's going on.
I mean, I don't think we know because I don't think we know, but on the world stage, Canada and the US are a laughing stock. I mean, they look at your president, they look at ours, which is a fucking Nazi or something, and they're like, what the fuck is happening over there? It's ridiculous.
It must be in the water.
It's a laughable situation. And you people want to reelect this guy, and some people here in Canada are actually voting for Trudeau again.
Imagine what it's like to be Mexican. Their governments, they're probably like, what's with these white people up here?
Yeah, they're crazy. Crazy white guys.
Pinche gringos.
Yeah, crazy gringos. I mean, it's I get it, but you have to admit that it's ridiculous. When's the last time you had a president that is so feeble-minded and everything? And you guys are protecting him. And I don't get it. This guy should be off. I mean, he should have an evaluation. He shouldn't be running the country. He shouldn't have that power. And we did it before. I mean, at some point, you have to remove people from office because their brain don't work because they're too old, or they have Alzheimer's, or they have dementia, or whatever. And if you're going to keep a guy like that just because you hate Trump, that's not a good solution.
I don't know. I see more faculties going on with Biden than I do with Trump, for sure. I mean, just off the cuff. I mean,
have you ever seen a Trump speech and a Biden speech? It's totally not the same thing.
No, I think you're being subject to some kind of cult-like propaganda if you think Biden has. It's beyond that, though. it could just be the TDS. You just hate Trump so much. You're seeing things in Biden that aren't there.
I wish his mother had aborted his ass. I mean, that's where I am with that. Period. End of story. Done. You know, I live in the sticks because I don't want to deal with any of it, but I'm looking at it and I'm like, fuck, man, what the hell's going on out there?
But you guys got this border thing going on with Texas. What's going on with that? Whose fault is that? Is it Trump or Biden?
No, it's been going on for years.
Well, not under Trump.
All of them.
Well, you wanted to build a wall.
Yeah, right.
Do you wish you had that wall now?
We also wanted to dig a moat and throw alligators in it. Are we going to give them credit for that shit? Come on now.
I don't know.
Come on.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing. It's the same thing here in Canada. There's 5,000 new people coming in every day in Canada. Every day, not every month, not every year, every day.
And how are they getting there?
Wow, they're letting them in. And you know what the problem? The biggest problem now we have in Canada, we don't have enough homes to house everybody.
Well, we have the same issue here for people that have been here forever.
Yeah. So who's
got plenty of money for Ukraine though.
Oh yeah.
Everywhere. I mean,
don't get me started on that one. We stand with Ukraine. Yeah, the most Nazi-filled country ever, and people don't know their history. So basically, oh yeah, Ukraine, because we hate the Russians. Ukraine is not a choir boy. Ukraine is a horrible place. It's been like this for years and decades. There were Nazis there, cleansing, genocides. But they don't talk about that stuff on CNN.
Well, there's a bunch of Nazis here. I can tell you then.
No, there isn't. I haven't seen a Nazi in all of my life, ever. I havennt seen one.
I saw a couple of skinheads like maybe 35 years ago.
Two are warriors for the Lord.
Two of them. I saw two skinheads 35 years ago.
Yeah, that's about it. But that was a fashion statement back in the day.
That was the presumption too. That's the only reason I thought they were potential neo-Nazis is because they were wearing boots and red and they had shaved heads.
Yeah, they were wearing Doc Martens, and yeah. Anyway, I don't want to go too political. I'm in Canada. You know, what do I give a shit? But we're having the same problems here with liberal governments. I mean, they're selling us out. And let's be clear here. The mass immigration that's happening here is to deculturize the country. It's plain and simple. It's population control.
And lower the wages.
Yeah, of course. Oh yeah, we love immigrants. We love them. Yeah, well, wait a minute. I have a standard of living that was earned through decades of fighting with unions.
Mm-hmm.
My grandfather fought for it.
Yeah.
Your father fought for it. We have a standard of living. Now we're bringing in all these people that will work for peanuts because in their country they didn't get anything. But yeah, they need help. Yeah, but you're fucking us up. We fought for this. Generation.
Yeah, and that was that made the corporations quite uncomfortable, sir.
Of course.
I mean,
yeah.
What is?
It's
they have feelings too, you know.
Yeah, it's so obvious, but people don't want to see it. They just want a virtue signal because that makes them feel like a good person. That's okay.
Yeah,
I'm fine. My fight is done. I'm old enough that this is not my fight anymore. I'm going to say this is our children's fight. Because if they don't see what's coming, you can educate them, tell them, wait a minute, look out for this. You know, be careful. But it's not my fight. I fought my fight when I was younger. Now it's their fight. If they don't want to fight for it, well, fuck them. I mean, I'm not going to fight forever. You know?
I'm going down swinging. I don't care.
I'm not. I fought enough. I'm done.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to pass on that.
Yeah,
I like beer and movies too much.
Yeah, I worked hard. I worked long. You know, I fought for rights and shit, and when I wasn't in line with something, I spoke up. But at my age, at this time, no, that's not my fight anymore. You go fight for your rights. I fought for mine.
That's the problem.
Yeah, but that's the problem. I mean, the kids don't even know what the fuck is happening. You know, they've been indoctrinated in schools. I can't fucking imagine going to work today in an office. How bad it is.
Yeah, dude.
It's got to be fucking horrible. You have to watch everything you say, the way you look at people and everything. And now you have the trans thing, which is, I don't even want to get into that.
And it's not like, you know, it's just going to lead to an uncomfortable situation. It's the difference between being able to eat and support yourself or not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, well. What are you going to do? We can talk about it. That's about all we can do. And then there was silence.
And I was just thinking about those solutions, you know?
But there is none. I don't think there is. Government got too big. Government got too big. Government was never meant to be like 20% of the employing party of a country. I mean, it makes no sense. I mean, they bring no value. Government doesn't make money. And I think it's a lack of education. People don't know where money comes from. You know, when governments say, "Oh, I'm going to send you $1,000 for this and $500 for that," people are like, "Oh,
My
yeah.
money already.
That's your money. It's your money.
It's my fucking money."
They don't make money. Government spends money. Your money. Government is not a business. It doesn't make profits. It takes from people and redistribute it. That's it. That's all government does. It's just our government now is stealing money to send
Heavy
it
on
to
the take.
other countries.
Light on the redistribution.
Oh, yeah. They send it to other countries. Billions and billions. And you have people fucking starving in the street, homeless people and everything. I mean, how much money did the U.S. send to Ukraine so far?
I stopped counting after 100 billion.
It's not even real money. They don't have the money. They're just printing it. Inflation comes from what? Money devaluation. Your money is not buying as much, so you have to pay more money to buy the same stuff because there's too much money being printed. This is simple stuff. They just don't teach it, and people don't know what government is and where money comes from. It's not rocket science. Everybody can learn this, but nobody wants to. Nobody wants to look into it and actually do the research. That's why people listen to the news, the mainstream media news, and they don't go, "Okay, wait a minute. I just heard that. Let me do some research. Let me look." It's easy. Fuck, we have the internet now. You can look at stuff. No, people don't want to put in the work to actually find out if what was said was actually true. So I put the blame on people for letting all this shit happen because they're
Well,
lazy.
you know, as our academic institutions have collapsed over the years, and I'm not talking about colleges and stuff. I'm talking about grade school, high school, middle school. They don't teach the things they were teaching, and they're doing it for a reason.
Why?
They're not encouraging it. That's the thing. They're not encouraging people to be mindful, to do their own research, to ask questions. Because if you ask questions, you're against the system.
Civics anymore. They called it social studies, and there was no civics involved. I mean, you know.
Yeah, that's on the people. It's not, for letting it happen.
Excuse me.
Well, our studies show that if we allow people to think for themselves, then they cost a lot more to employ and have much higher demands for standard of living and education and welfare, and
well, we've gotten a
that cuts into our bottom line, so we're not really into all that. We prefer our employees to be obedient. And
that's why you go to school. That's why you go to school, to sit from 8 to 4 on a bench and listen and don't You're a prisoner when you go to school.
Yeah, I'm teaching you how to be a good employee.
Yeah, that's it. Well, if you look at the history of schools, and you can look it up. I mean, it was invented by a plant owner. I mean, this is not hidden stuff. You can look it up. Schools were invented to actually get people from a young age to be obedient and sit in a chair for 8 hours, 7 hours, 6 hours, and get used to that because they would go to a factory down the road. School was never invented to actually make people smarter. I mean, look it up. It's out there, man. I mean, people don't look up stuff. That's the thing. It's all out there. I didn't have the internet when I was growing up. I didn't know this shit. But now that we do, people don't use it for the good stuff. They use it for TikToks and Instagram and shit like that.
I like cat videos.
I do too.
Pizza
We should just
recipes
let the
and
feminists win. Let them have all the jobs,
and women.
And we'll just go to we'll go back to making pies and raising children and let them fucking deal with the corporate bullshit.
You know what? Let the women win and men quit. Let's see how long. Let's see how long it lasts. The infrastructure, the roads, everything. Because women think working is only going in an office and typing shit.
And complaining about how cold it is.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, women, you win. You win.
I don't do pussy work. I think that's pretty insulting to me.
Are you a bricklayer?
No.
Are you an oil rig worker?
I work in the oil fields.
Okay, what do you do there?
I tend to camp.
Do you chain up the pipe that's going down?
No,
and shit?
I don't do that. I service.
Oh, why not?
I service the men who need to be fed. Anywhere you go, any army that marches needs to be fed. I am part of the dog in the wheel.
Yeah.
But it's not.
But if you don't have men,
it's not
you don't need that job.
I don't have to pick out a fucking outfit to go work in and make sure that my hair's done and all that crap. I go in there and I bust my hump.
Don't put men down, because if you don't have men, you don't have jobs. You don't have anything. I'm not putting
men down. I'm just saying that I bust my ass just as hard as some guys do.
No.
Hey, do those